have SRV folder, DB folder, app folder. So if you see here, so you have three things. So one is a DB folder. You're able to see my screen, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. So you are SRV folder and then you have an app folder. Now these are the only three important file which is going to be relevant for your CAP application. So what is the purpose of these three files? So let's imagine that how the CAP architecture works. Okay. So if you see here, right, the first stage of any CAP architecture is the domain model. Domain modeling. What domain modeling is going to do that in the end, it is going to create a model or a structure of your entity in the database. Okay, so basically you will have all your data stored here in this file and all your structure are defined by this data model. So where are you going to define the data model? This data model are going to be defined in the DB folder. Okay. So all the structures, whatever the customer structure you wanted to define, everything that has to be done inside this particular folder, domain. So once domain model is done, you have to create some logic, right? You have to expose some service, some backend service, okay, that going to talk with your domain model. So on top of domain model, we create service model. Service model. And what service is going to do? This service model will create a full-fledged running service, which can be integrated to any application or any running party system. They can be integrated as well, any third-party system. Okay. Okay, but it is not a user UX. Okay, so basically the UI you can see, but it's just running services. Okay, which you can expose and you can connect it via any other application if you want. So now this data model is exposed, and on top of that we create a service model using the domain model. And this service model we exposed as a full-fledged service. Now the point is that when a user talk with service, what service do? Service get a data from database. Okay. Now the question comes, where are you going to define the service model? The service model we are going to define inside SRV folder. Now we have a domain model which we create our data in database, which is good. Now we have a service model which we expose a service, which is very good. But what about the UI? What about the application, user friendly? What about the Fiori application? What about the UX which user going to see? That we are going to create, and we create a UI model on top of the service model. And this UI model further get exposed to the which we call as a front end. Front end. So basically, you as a user are here with your mobile application, mobile, and mobile is going to see basically your Fiori application front end. Okay, and your front end basically whenever you call front end will call service, and service will call data. Data will come to the service. Service will give all the data to the front end, and that is what the user sees. And where we are going to define the UI model, that we are going to define inside app folder. Any question on this particular thing?
So whatever code we want to return, then we have to return in the SRV folder.
Yes,
Logic
exactly. So
or
all the
function.
business logic, yes, all the business logic you have to define inside
Service
SRV
model.
folder. Yes.
And we want to fetch any data in the service model, any program, then we will pull that data from the
Yes,
DB folder.
yes, yes, exactly.
And app folder is only for the designing the front end screen.
Yes.
Okay.
So you are clear now?
Yes, yes, Sayed.
Now you understand what is the purpose of these three files, DB, SRV, or app.
Yes, Sayed.
Now, suppose if I will tell, let's go and design something, okay, anything. So how you are going to design anything? So for example, if I say, hey, Nilesh, create one application. So what Nilesh is going to do? Nilesh is going to first ask client, right? What application you want to create? Then Nilesh going to have some more detail, right? Like what are the application will do, all the end-to-end business process of the application. And then Nilesh will derive the domain model, right? That what are the field which we're going to do, what are the things which we are going to use. So each and everything Nilesh will take into consideration, and then based on that, Nilesh will create a full-fledged application. Correct?
Yes, Sayed.
Now we are going to see the same stuff here, right? So we are going to see same stuff that how all end-to-end business process works here. Just a moment. Okay. So now you are clear with this whole domain model. Now we are going to see that the CAP application. So you know, right, how to run the CAP application. So basically to run the CAP application, we usually do CDS watch. Now what this CDS watch will do, CDS watch is going to check all your files, okay? That what are the file which has been created. It started listening your file and it will expose your data to a local service. So you can see here, these are all local service. So you can see here you have a REST endpoint. You also seen yesterday, right, that how if I wanted to convert my protocol from REST to OData, I just have to uncomment it, and in the fly you can see here that your data got exposed and it is now OData view. Okay, but you can see that there is no entity here, right? So let's see how we can create one entity. Entity means domain model. So now again the question comes, where are you going to create a domain model? Inside DB, correct? Okay. Now
Yes.
before we create domain model, let's understand some more things. Now if you see this, this is a terminal and this is a log. So what exactly in this log? So you can see, right, as I did CDS watch initially. Okay, so as I did CDS watch, it started listening to the file. You can see CDS loaded model from one file to one file. It loaded the service, and you can see here that it's checking if any registry is available in CDS services.json. Okay, here there is no registry, so it ignored it. Now it is saying that which database I should call. So if you see here, right, it is connecting to database SQLite and it's connected to database memory. So what does this mean? So if you go to the package.json, in package.json, we have lot of dependency of files. So you can see, right, one such dependency is cap.js SQLite. So what does that mean? That cap provides three types of mechanism for your data integration. The first one, let's suppose you are developing some application locally and you don't worry about whether my data, you don't want persistence, you just want something called in memory kind of database where I load some data, I get immediate result, and then it go away. I don't worry once the service stop. Okay, you don't want persistency. So in this case, CAP supports a database called SQLite, and the type will be in memory. So what is SQLite? SQLite is a database. It's an open source database. Just remember that, like unlike other database, right? Oracle, HANA, SQLite is another database. And SQLite has an in-memory capability as well. So CAP supports SQLite in memory. CAP supports SQLite persistence database. We will also see that. Okay, and also CAP supports HANA database as well. So we will see both the three types of database in our application, like how these three database work, how these three database deployment do. So we will check each and everything. So in our, of course, in our CAP simulation. Now, if you see more picture here, so you can see here we are serving product. So you can see here implementation logic is written where service.js, correct? All the logic we are written here. So serving product means product services. So if you see here as service.js, we have one service product, and that is what you are seeing here. So basically you have one running services. Okay. So this is a service. What is service here? So if you see here in our previous session, I told you, right, this service. Okay. And now when I'm clicking those services, all a corresponding entity, when I click that entity, I will basically call database, basically domain model. Okay, and on top of service you will create front end. Okay, now let's go and try to create one entity, okay, called product. So we will come here, we will say new file, and we'll say name as schema.cds. Now what this schema.cds will do, schema with cds, you can give any name, okay, that doesn't matter. Okay, okay, so let's suppose I give the name as schema.cds. Now here we are going to write a domain model for our application. So once again, can anybody tell me what is domain model? Nilesh or Ritik? Domain model is the data structure which you are going to create, which ultimately is going to load the data and deploy to your database. Okay. Now,
Yes, sir.
every application, whenever you create any application, okay, whenever you create any application, doesn't matter if it's A application, B application, product shop application, or every application has to get some unique name. Okay. Now, before we go to that part, let's go first of all and declare some. Did you just understand one term which I told unique name? Okay. Now, why I'm telling the unique name, I will come back later. But every application has to get some unique name. Just see that word and let's go further. Let's suppose I wanted to create one product where this entity. Let's suppose I will say my new entity name is I will say student. Okay, so we have a student a student, or maybe a student will have also something called a good marks, or we will say product. Product is must move. So basically, let's create one entity called product, because as we have production application, so we will create a product entity. Okay. So how to create an entity? So we will tell entity entity. Okay. And as soon as you say entity, you will get all those referred points. Just put the value and you will say entity name. Always remember that all your entity name has to be the capital letter, the first letter. So I will say P capital, and then I will say product.
So likewise that we do in JavaScript.
No. So if you see here, right, whatever we are writing, this is not a JavaScript. This is a CAP CDS language. Okay.
Yes, yes, sir.
So so if you let's suppose if I showed you this GitHub, right? Remember yesterday I showed you the GitHub BTP. Let's suppose BTP CAP. So CAP CDS is a separate language, remember, okay? This is only for CAP. So if you see here, right, let's suppose I deployed one application. So how many JavaScript I'm using? 65.3%. But how much CAP CDS language I'm using? 34.7. So CAP CDS is a separate language, remember, okay? It's not the JavaScript. So whatever I'm writing now is a CAP CDS language. It's a way to define the metadata of our application.
Okay.
Okay. Now we are going to define the. So this is the way. This is normal way entity, name of the entity, and then open bracket and close bracket. Now we are going to write the value. Now what value we should write? First of all, every entity, every data model has some key value, correct? Without primary key, there is nothing called thing. So we will write one key value called key. We will write ID, something called, and we will give a string. Okay. Or maybe I will give integer. Integer is ID is good. So we will write integer. So you can see all the recommendation is come different whatever you do. Similarly, we have product name. So I will give name and I will give the value as string. Now let's suppose what is another thing? What is the price? Price. Price I will give also a string. I don't worry right now about the domain model. Similarly, something called I will give here mm, price and I will give one more thing which is called stock. How many stock I have? Okay, so I will also give as a or maybe I will give as integer, and I will also change this integer. Now, as soon as I do this, right? So why I am getting the error? Can anybody tell me? So if you notice this entity, every entity has some integer entity type, entity name, a field name, and field type particularly. But if you see here, I have missed this. And now you can see here, I'm getting a value. And as soon as you can see, right, whenever I'm writing the value or whenever I'm giving the error, automatically the file is running and it is giving you the error. And you can see the error here. That okay, something is missing, mismatch, and identifier happened. Then you go and see here. So if you see here, DB schema, line number 9. Correct? So you can come here and you can go here and he's saying that 5 to 10, 5 to 10 you have written something between 5 to 10. Around 9 you are getting some error. So you are getting error here and you can see here that it's so now the service is running, which is very good at localhost 4004. And if you open that one and if you try to see here, there is nothing comes. So let's see metadata. In your metadata, if you see here, nothing is coming. Okay. Why it is not coming? Can anybody tell me? Oh, no problem. We will see later. Now, once this entity is arrived, you can also see your entity automatically via multiple ways. For example, if you want to see a graphical modeler, you can also use this CDS graphical modeler tool and you can open those entities. And those who are not interested in writing code, okay, like many of you can see those entities right here out of the box very seamlessly. So can you see here this entity? Graphical modeler, can anybody see, right? So let me just make it a data thing, somebody thing. Yes, can you see this right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me make it not that much dark, but at least okay. Now those This gap is not made for any pro developer also. Like, let's suppose you are thinking that I need JavaScript to do coding, I need CAP CDS to do coding. No, you don't need that. For a person who just want a layman, he just want no language barrier, right? Still he can go and learn this thing. How? Let's suppose if he want to extend this entity, how can he extend it? Very easy. For example, if you see a lot of things are there, okay. So if you want to add, he can create and he can add one entity here as well, and he can, let's suppose you can see here, right? Now if I want to add one more entity, so I can come here and I will say brand, brand, or maybe category. I will say category. Okay, and I will keep a string. And now you can see here, right? If I just remove the category here, automatically can category come. And if you see my schema file now, can you see this category? Automatically it is coming.
Yes, sir.
So how these things are happening? So now if I, let's suppose if I want to change the data type, so I will come here, I will change the data type of category to right now integer. Okay, so I will select integer and I will directly come here and I can see that it's changed. Did you think that you need an effort to do that coding? You can directly achieve those things by the graphical model. Okay. Not it's graphical modeler. There are many things as well which you can do here. It's okay, like enhancement, like modeling, like you can say lot of. Let's suppose if you want to add more entity, you can add it out here. Okay. For example, let's suppose if I want to say add entity, new entity, I'm telling. Okay, new data model. So I will say add entity. My entity name is supplier. Okay. ID is the common field. I will give one more entity field here. Plus I will say customer name string. I will say customer at sorry, I will give the customer address, address, and I will give the customer phone number. Which is good, right? Let's suppose ID I want as a string. Okay. I'll make it a key, name, address, and phone number. Okay. And now if I come here, and now on instead of address, I will say name, city, 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 and that is phone number. And if I just want a string, I maximum length, I remove this one and confirm deletion, and then you can see here, I have now my two entity which is ready. Right, okay. And if you see here in the schema.cds, automatically you are getting on the. Can you see this one?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So how the magic is going on, you can see here, right? And how powerful it is. You don't need to write a code. If you are not interested in writing a code, don't write it. Use the graphical modeler opportunity and create a full-fledged entity. Now you have an entity, right? You can see if I make this file here, if I make this file here, if I make this file here. Now if I want to make it good format, right? You can format your file using this format document. Whenever you want to format document, you can do. You can see here your file are now documented and maintained appropriately. Now, if you see one more thing, there is another concept here which is called CDS preview. Now, CAP is very powerful. Okay, as soon as you develop, create an entity, automatically this will translate to a multiple structure. For example, you don't need to explicitly write a query for entity to adapt to the SQL or HANA or JSON or OData. For example, if I want to directly integrate my entity to translate this entity product, right? Because entity product I have written as a CAP CDS language, right? Now, if I want to translate to the SQL language, I have to either write a manual code, but CAP say that no, you don't need it. You just write CAP CDS language. I will automatically translate your file to the SQL so that you can directly integrate with the SQL. If you see the CDS preview and if you want to see a preview a SQL, You can see here your SQL database got created automatically. Can you see this one on the right hand side?
Yes, sir.
So this is what in the SQL we used to do, right? Integer and varchar, or we used to write. Now in the similar way, if you notice it right here, right? Your create table and your name of the entity is there, product and supplier. Okay. Now if you similarly, if you close this one, if you want to deploy to your HANA, you don't need to write explicit code. You can automatically see your HANA database table is also created, structure. Can you see here product.hdb table, supplier.hdb, hdb means HANA database, and automatically create table is created. Now the question is very simple. If I will create one application, if I write product and supplier, which is good, okay. So let's suppose I have my application one, okay, and I have my application. I have written what product entity and supplier entity, and I have one database. Okay, I have one database. So what happens? So product and supplier both will be deployed here in database, correct? So database will be have product, database will be have supplier. Okay. Now let's suppose if I develop application 2 and let's suppose application 2 also have a separate entity, but the name is same, product and supplier. So what I mean going to say that both product and supplier are present here and here as well, but the data are different here. And now if I will deploy here, this will override it, correct? If I will
Yes, sir.
deploy the two applications, this will override it. So what is the
Yes.
way
Yeah.
to avoid it? Just give a thing. What do you think? How we can avoid this one? You understood the problem, right? Here, what I want to say.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So now,
Both are
just
different.
think that how. Yes, yes. Please go on, Ritik.
Sir, both will have different data, but we have
Yes.
to. Uh,
So both have different data, but the table structure name is same, correct?
yes, sir.
And now, if you deploy these two applications on same database, then will that create a problem, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Sayed, if ID is different in the another application, then it will also overwrite the data
Yes, yes,
or
yes,
append
yes,
the
yes, yes, yes.
data.
Yes, 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 of course, it will override it. And you shouldn't override that one, right? You shouldn't
Yes,
interfere one application data with another, right? That is the whole
yes,
concept, right?
yes.
So how to avoid that? Just think, have you thought about that problem? This is a very important problem, right? Because now, see, HANA database is very costly, very costly. Now, let's suppose for one sub account, if you buy one HANA database, can you, for one application, will you use one database? HANA database supports multi-application deployment. Why can't I save my money for client and I can say, hey, deploy your 100th application on one single database only, and I will separate your data via some way. Do you think there is any other way?
Sir, first way is to code directly. Uh, is we have to code that the part the two parts.
No. Now, if you have seen this one right, you have the entity profile. Why can't we do something that we will write the entity and product here, but in the runtime we will change the name of that product or entity. So on the top level, service level, this will look product and supplier only. But on the database level, I will give some unique name to this application such that we can differentiate that which application it actually belongs to this product and supplier, so that interference cannot happen. So that is what I was telling to you about this concept called unique namespace. Okay, so there is a concept in the CAP called namespace. Namespace provides you a unique name to your application so that your whole entity are segregated and separated by your namespace. We will see how it works. So if you see here, right, if I do schema, if I write CDS preview, and if I write preview to suppose SQL, what is happening? Create table product, correct? Create table supplier. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to write, well, just notice here on top of that, okay? Just notice here on the right hand side. I'm going to write namespace, and I'm going to write the namespace name sap.cap. Any name. I will give product shop, for example. My application name is product shop, so I will give product shop. Okay. And let's see. Can you see here?
Yes, sir.
What did you see?
The entity name is changed and the name, stock, and price is same.
Yeah, but what are you seeing here on the difference on the right hand side and left hand side?
Table name is changed with the namespace concatenate with
Yes.
the entity.
Yes. Very good. Very good. Very good. And now you can see, right? So now if I have two application, I will give that same namespace X and namespace Y. And I will keep the same entity. So my application will be separated, right? So I will here will be X and this application will be separated by Y product. Correct?
Yes.
But on the top level, it will be product and supplier. I'm not going to do anything, but at the DB level, you can see, right? I'm separating it, correct? So I this will become X product supplier, this will become Y product supplier. So similarly, way you can see, right? As soon as given the name, now if I remove the name space, what happened? So see, if I remove the name space, so see, notice this one. It will change back to the product, correct? As soon as they give the name space, this will change the name of the table, correct? Understood or not?
Yes. Yes. And similarly, we can push the data from the database to the DB file.
Sorry. Can you just repeat again, Nilesh?
Can we pull the table from the
Mhm.
database into the DB file?
Yeah. No. DB file is we cannot pull you, so you are not basically pulling the data, but you can always see your database here. Okay, so you can see here, right? Data model and service integrate, right? So you can see here in the down. Can you see it down? Product,
Yes.
service, all the thing. Can you see here? SAP cap dot product shop inside it. Can you see all the data? And now you will see that we will see all the live data here as well. Okay, and there is a if you see here, right? There is a SQL tool and there is also a HANA database tool. Okay, so you can add HANA schema and you can see HANA schema and business applications to do, but you cannot see locally. Okay, once see productive data, you shouldn't see locally, correct? So you should always see whenever you want it to see. So if you want an access from HANA database, you can go and see the data in the HANA database, or you can directly pull it into the business application studio from HANA database. Correct?
Okay.
That's a very good question you asked. Okay. Now we have the product and supplier entity. So what we have did here. So basically we have completed the this part data model we have created. Correct? Do you have any question here?
Yes, as well.
Now what we have to do? Now what we have to create after domain model?
We have to create SRV, some source code.
Service model. Service model. Okay. So how to create service model? We have to come to the SRV, and we have already created here service.cdf. So if you want to delete it, you can delete it also. If you want to create one new service, so let's suppose if I want to delete, let's create a new service. Okay, so I don't care about this service.js, I will create a new service. Okay, fresh service I will create. Okay, see, as you deleted, there is no service definition found. So we will create a new service. So what is the name we can give? Any name. Let's suppose I give product service dot cds, product service dot cds. Sorry, yeah. So we'll take product service dot. So now we have created this product service dot cds, and now we have to do is that we have to write a name of the service which you are going to create. So right now, if you see here, we haven't given any service name, so they're still waiting for service definition. And if you see locally, if you see here, if you refresh, there is no service still. Okay, so if you see here, there is no service, nothing, no metadata, nothing else. So we will create one service here. So what is the service name you will give? Give any name. Let's suppose I will give product shop. Okay, and then we'll just write like this. As soon as we write, you will immediately see that your product shop is now working, and you can see here you are getting one service. Clear? Now it's just service, right? Now we have to add and bring this entity inside our service. Okay, so basically what we have to do, we have written one schema. So basically, if you understand that cap, right? So DB folder we have written, we have created that domain of logic, which is correct. Now in the service model, right? This is we have written here the file we have created schema dot cds, and we have to bring this file. We have to bring those file into SRV folder. So basically, both are separate file. Okay. Now schema was here, right? In db underscore schema dot cds. Now we have to bring schema dot cds under srv dot cds. Okay. So how to bring that? So that all our entity product. So there is a syntax, okay, to bring that file from any Node.js application. Okay. So how to bring that? Okay. As I told you, right? Every application is defined by non-namespace. So through namespace, we are going to bring our whole file from a schema. How we will see it? Okay. So we'll come here. We will say what you actually want to bring. So what you actually want to bring, you will say using. I'm bringing my data using namespace. Okay, because namespace is the important one. From where? From where? Can anybody tell me? Which file? Which
Schema,
file you have to bring? Yes, schema.
schema.cds.
Yes. So if you do like this, and if you write like if you like like schema dot cd. So if you do like this, automatically this will be come from the root folder. Okay, so couldn't find schema.cds, so maybe you have to do like this. See, can you see here? Automatically it is suggesting db/schema. Okay, just select that one, and you can see here this error is gone. Now, this is giving you the error because you cannot directly give the namespace. You have to give some alias. So give some alias. So we'll say as my, something like that. Okay. As soon as you give as my, all your data in the schema, which is a product and supplier, will come into my. Let's see how. So now what is the way to bring the entity? Okay. What is the way to bring the entity? Very simple. Whatever you have the entity in your schema now, right now it is present into this one, and this we have already given alias as mine. So we will, whatever the entity we are going to write here, we will just project this into mine. You will see how. For example, I wanted give entity name which you want to project, any entity name. So we'll give product, for example. Okay. So we'll give as projection on, and then we will give my. Okay, because we have the file inside this my, right? So we'll give my, and as soon as we do dot, automatically this will reflect. Can you see here two entity?
Yes.
If you just do this product, and if you see here, you can see automatically here that you are getting one entity. Can you see this one product? So
Yes.
basically, this is your service which you are getting here. If you, this is the service. Now this service model has exposed services. Now this services you can also consume it to any application if you want. Now let's suppose if I say supplier, so I will come here and I will say entity supplier as projection on my dot supplier. Okay, and you can see here. Can you see this one? You can see here you are getting the response as there is no value, it is giving no value, but you can see here. Okay, so now what we will do?
Said which URL you have opened to show the metadata or services in
Let's
the
go. Yes. So now if
what
you go to the
URL?
metadata, yes, now if you go to the metadata, you will see all the metadata now. See, can you see for the product?
But
Really?
what was the URL on the browser?
This is the URL, right?
How can I open the
Yeah, so
uh,
I am right now, you can locally open it via this. So you can see here a server is running on this one. So you just have to click command and just have to say follow link. Automatically you will
okay,
this file will open, okay,
okay,
and then you can click on it, okay.
okay. Thank you. Yes.
No problem. And whenever you open and when so right now what I'm getting, as soon as I'm hitting it, right, let's suppose I hit product, so what happened initially, you can see here this product get call is happening. So what is basically happening, so you whenever you are trying to hit the service is calling what, database, it's doing a get call. As we don't have any data in the database, so we are not getting it. Let's suppose I remove it now. So right now we have how many entity?
Only
One
one.
entity. One entity. Let's see how we can do it from the graphical modeler. Let's suppose I assume that Nilesh doesn't know any CAP programming knowledge. He don't have any interest to learn CAP programming knowledge, but still he has to create one entity, project the service. So he will come here, he will say open with, and he will say CDS graphical model. See, can you see this graphical modeler?
Yes.
Okay. Now we already have this one graphical modeler here, but here in the product service we doesn't have that. So we come here and we will just expose the entity. So we will come here, okay, and you just have to remove this product entity right now, and he just have to say which entity he want to expose. So he want to expose supplier. That's it, and he has to fill all. If he want to select whatever entity let's suppose he don't want all the entity from his schema field, so he can select and he can remove it also. Okay, based on his wish. And once he does, automatically, what happened? Why this is getting Okay. Let's remove it. If there is some problem looking like here in the graphical model, but let's that is out. Then we'll see later. They should come. Okay, so now add service, add entity, supplier. Hmm, looks like there is some problem to extend, but we will see that later on. Okay. So let's go and see the first code without wasting the time. Let's come here, product service. So let's go and open the other entity, which is supplier. So I will say entity supplier as projection my dot supplier. Okay. So now you can see here you have those services which is running, which is very good, perfectly fine. And now it's time to load the data because we don't have any mock data, right? Because that is why we are not able to see the data. What if how to load the data? So CAP provides a very easy mechanism to load the data. Okay. So you just have to write the syntax. Okay. So as you write CDS add data, what will happen that inside DB, there is a folder data will get created, and inside data, CSV file will get created of all these two entities so that you can go and populate those data or by yourself. So can you see here creating data.csv file here in the terminal, and you can see here inside data all those CSV file got created. Can you see this one? And as soon as you can see here, right? So you can see here now data is listening to this CSV file. Okay, so now you can see here your data is listening to this CSV file because as we don't have any data, still it is showing 0. So let's go and add the data. Okay, so first ID, let's suppose I will add ID1. Name I will add what? Let's suppose product is mm, I will say BMW. Stock I will say 12. Price something here. Category I will say one category. Similarly, I will say ID number 2. I will say Audi, and then I will say stock 5, something I will get the rate, and then I will category I will give 2. Okay. Now similarly give number 3. What is the 3? It's in Maruti or Hyundai I will give Hyundai. Or else I will give Hyundai, and then I will give some stock. I will get some price, and then I will give some category 3. Now, similarly, I will give for supplier. Let's suppose I will give some supplier value 1, and I will say John Automobiles, City Bangalore, and I will say Ford something. Yeah. Okay. Similarly, I will give some more values. John, I will say mm, MG Automobiles. I will say New Delhi, New Delhi, and I will give some number. Similarly, I will give one more. Similarly, I will give one more, and I will give the name as Acro Automobiles, Chennai, Chennai, and then I will get some mobile. Now if you see here, our CDS watch is working perfectly fine without any error. Let's see. Yes, perfectly fine. And now what I'm going to do, I will refresh this. And now if I come here, can you see the data now? Can you see the data? Yes, no.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And now if you want to see here as well in your test.http, which we used to do yesterday, you can also see here. For example, if I will do like this inside the test.http, then if you do the get request, you will see those data. Can you see here? Now, similarly for the supplier, if I come here, if I see for the supplier, you can, if I just go to, can you see all the supply detail?
Yes.
And if I similarly, if I do for here as well, I will copy. If I will just do supplier. Product. Okay, and then I will do for, I will change this one to supplier. Supplier, I will comment right now this one. Yes, can you see this one?
Yes.
So now what is happening basically? You are calling a service, I'm calling a service, and service is calling the database. Can you see a get call is happening? And automatically the database is returning the data to you. Okay, on the service layer. So if you see here, our data model is done. Data model loaded the data. Right now I've loaded via the CSV file. Okay, my data is loaded by the domain model, and then it's a domain model expose the service model. From service model, I expose the service. So you can see here I have my running services. As soon as I call my services, services call back, service back call the database, and you are getting that data here in service. Do you have
Syed,
any
can
question? I
you
know it.
can you
Mm,
Syed, can you
mm.
repeat the command line which you have written for the fetching the data from the database?
No command line I have added. I've just added
Terminal
CDS
also.
space watch. CDS watch. If you see here, right, CDS watch means I will run it. If I have to add the data, I will write CDS space add space data. That's it. Okay, so I will write CDS watch. Okay, and if I have to add the data, I will use CDS add data. Okay, that's to check of terminal. Come on.
So CDS add data will create the CSV file, no?
Yes, yes, yes.
And how can you push the data from the CSV file to the DB file?
So that is right now we have not done that. Okay, we have not done that part. We will do that part later. Okay, how to put, there is a separate command to do that. Okay, so right now in the read.me, I am planning also to write all the nodes so that you can also see my GitHub dot details later on. Okay, so previously in the readme, these are all things that they are right. So right now I will write it all your. Okay, so first product shop application details. Okay, so what exactly your first query was? First query was what is CDS add data will do, correct? Correct? So CDS add data, what exactly will do? Will add, will add, it will add the data in the CSV file inside data folder of DB. So basically, you will a file will get created. Basically, a file will get created inside DB data and CSV. Correct? Now, what is another question? What is CDS watch? You know, CDS watch, you know, right? CDS watch, what it will do? It will run the, it will start the server and listen to your file changes. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to send all this code to the separate branch of my GitHub repository so that you can also refer anytime whenever you want this. So let me see which GitHub I am right now. Okay. So my code is inside this GitHub. So I will open this GitHub here. Okay. So here we are right now. Okay. So I will create a separate branch so that you can guys can see each day. Okay. So I will let me just go and create a new branch. So I will write here. mm, Branch, where is the branch? Branch, create branch. I will give this name as domain model. Okay, so one new branch is getting created. Okay, so now I will write here domain model. Commit name is domain model, and I will commit yes, and I will publish. Perfect. So now as I publish, you all can see my code live. So if you just click this link, so you will see the code here in the domain model. Okay, so you can see all those code service.cds every. So I will just paste the link here. I've already given that, but maybe for Ritvik it will not be there, Ritvik. So I will just paste it into the chat.
Thank you.
Let's wait. Why it is a bit slow for me? Yes. Hey, hi Prem. I missed to see you. Hope you have joined earlier, but I guess.
Yeah, just 15 minutes back, I think.
Okay. So I was waiting for you so that I can start you this file, but it's not late. You can also see the recordings, which you are still, you can get the figure out what exactly we are dealing with. Okay. Okay. So now if you see my screen, that you will also see the README. So you can come to the README section and you can see all those things whichever I have added. Okay. So this will be just act as a note. Okay. For you. Let me change the product shop. What is it? Okay. Product shop. Okay, so clear. So what exactly what is the namespace? You know, right? What is the namespace? What is the namespace? It's a unique name. Okay, remember it's a unique name to your application. To your application. Okay, remember all this thing. So I will commit. So, so now if I refresh, so now this is working fine, perfectly. Okay, any question by the way? don't hesitate to ask a question because this is a very new for you, I understand. But I'm going very slow and I'm just in a starting phase, so you don't need to worry about it. If you feel that there is an issue, you need to understand more, or something you want me to focus on, I can definitely do that. Okay. But anyway, that is very simple to answer. Okay, so right now, if you see a lot of things here, okay, let's go to some another part. Okay, so here, if you see here, we have the service. So basically, what we have did here, we have did domain model, different service. Let's take a quick UI model as well. Okay, basically a front end. Okay, just listen to me that how with the help of service caps, because now my cap service is running. Okay, now with the help of service, automatically the cap provides a ready-made template. Okay, so that you can create a Fiori application very quickly. Let's see how that. It will not be a very elegant Fiori application because we have to do a lot of annotation, but still we can create a very good overview as well. Okay? So how to create a Fiori application? For that, you have to just come here. You have to just come view. You have to just come to the command palette, and you have to just say open application generator. If you just come here, and you can automatically see that your template will get loaded and it will ask which part you want to try. For example, I'm saying that, hey, I wanted to create list report page. So now I will say next. Now the list report, what is happening is the data source and service selection. What exactly is the data source? Data source is just from where you are going to bring the data to the UI. So you give me the answer now. What can be the data source for your application? If I select this button, I'm getting multiple options. Just you guys tell me which file folder I have to select. Yeah.
I think use a local cap project.
Yes, very good. Very good. Because in the local cap project only your application is there, right? So you can see automatically it will listen to your product shop and it is automatically listen to your OData service. How fast it is and how understandable this cap is that you don't need to do any extra effort, and with a very simple tool you just selected a local cap project, automatically the cap will listen to your files and folders. And now I'm going to go to the next. It is asking me which is the main entity, because it will always it pick my entity, right? It pick my two entities, product and supply. So I will say my product is my main entity. Okay, and I will say okay that I will say next. It will ask some basic detail from me. Okay, so let's go and fill up some basic details. So what basic detail? Module name. So I will give module name as product shop. Okay, so basically a UI will get created here in the app folder. If you see the app folder, right? Can you see this app folder? So in the app folder, app module will be get created. Module name will be product shop. Application title, I will give some product warehouse, something like I can say. Okay, so application name is I will be say not name is not that one, and I will go to some advanced option, and in the advanced option, I can do one thing that instead of UI5 theme, I can give some dark theme because I like that one. And I will skip generation of segmentation and I will say finish. Just see the magic now. And as soon as I did it, okay, as soon as I did it, automatically I run the CDS watch, okay, and now you can see the installation of dependencies happening. And if you see here, what is happening here? If you see here under app, product shop, can you see this product shop get created? And inside the
Yes.
product shop, all the UI and UX meta related data get created, UI5 YML, under all the information got okay, which is related to your UX. Okay, now I can simply go and see my server. So if you come back to the server, you can see here, and if you refresh, you can see the web application here. Right now it is done. I will refresh, and can you see here what it is listening? Slash product shop slash web app. So if you see here, it is now directly listening to slash product shop slash web app. All the component is listening now. And now if I click this one, if I click this one, and if I open this one, and if I open this one, can you see those applications? And can you see the detailed page? Of course, basic, lot of things we can do to enhance now. But did you feel this is very good now? How fast it is to develop this application now? Yes, no, anything. Or
Yes,
did you
sir.
didn't find it very interesting? What exactly did you find it out here? Did you find it interesting? That how fast we can develop a UX via the service? Of course, a lot of things we have to do. We have to develop a annotation, make it more beautiful, and all this thing we can do. But right now, if you see here, right, if you want a quick Fiori application UX, then can you see how fast you can develop it using the template?
Yes, sir. Interesting.
So now, if you have seen that we have completed the app part and we have completed the front end part, but that doesn't mean the cap is completed. Okay, lot of things we have to do right now. Just creating a Fury application is not going to do. So you have just created a service, mock service, blah blah, and then you have exposed the data into the UI. Of course, the UI is not looking that much good, but still, you can see right how fast and seamlessly we can create the data. Correct?
Yes,
Now
sir.
we we are going to now forget all those DB service, whatever we have created. We will forget now because we don't have anything to do here. Let's go focus back on the domain modeling part because we have to learn a lot on domain modeling. Then we will see a lot of things on service modeling, and then we will see a lot of things on UX UI, how we can do it. So the faster way we have implemented it, but now let's go deeper and deeper, and we will see more details. Any question here, by the way? Any question? But you understood, right? What exactly the whole problem you can sort it out and how, with the help of this details, how you can enhance the data. This thing you understood, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Wow, very good. Okay, so now you have a running service, which is very good, and now you have a running application. Now what we are going to do, We are going to cut everything here because we are not going to focus right now on the UI part. We are going to more focus on the service part, that how we can make this service more elegant. Okay. Let terminal get stop. We'll come to DB and we'll come to schema. So basically, we are going to do a lot of stuff here. We will understand how this few of the concept of this aspect and few of the concept related to schema, that how you can modify, how you can. Okay. So we have multiple data type first of all, which is related integer string. I already told you, but if you put control and space right, you will see all the suggested one. For example, binary, boolean, date, date and time, decimal, double, in integer, 16-bit integer, 32-bit integer, 64-bit integers, large binary, large string. Large string is mostly for long amount of data. Okay, that if you have a good like you can say conversation text or something like that, you can use that. And then a string, then time, then timestamp, then UINT, then UUID. Okay, vector. So lot of things are there, okay, for this. Clear, right? Sorry. So how to find? Can anybody tell me how to find this? Like you can this all the data type. Anyone? Can anybody tell me what are the shortcut to see that? See that? Control and space. So can all of you go to your business application studio if it is open? Okay. I don't want that all of you should do. I will give you 5 minutes of time. Can you go and just explore this one quickly and just see that you are getting those things? If you have open, if you don't have open, you can don't want to put data. But if you all have already have open, how many have the business application studio open apart from Nilesh? Prem, did you have business studio open right now?
Yeah.
Okay, Ritik, for you, business studio is there. I know you have the first class, but it's still open.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, perfect, perfect. So can you also go and check it by doing control space and let me raise your hand once completed? I just wanted to see that all of you at least see. So I'm just sharing my screen at this page. If you want to write the entity, you can write by seeing mine one. Okay. If you want to copy paste, you can use also that link also. Okay. My GitHub link. You can directly copy paste whatever you wish. But if you type by your hand, you will feel more confident. Okay. So I'm leaving it right now, putting on the mute and sharing my screen from here, and then all of you just raise your hand once done, and my screen will be shared directly to business application studio.
Sayed, can you tell me the how can I set up the GitHub account?
Did anyone have to ask anything to me? Nilesh, Prem, Ritik,
Yeah,
Kaishan?
yeah, Sayed, I am asking that can you help me to set up my GitHub account?
No need to do right now, GitHub. Okay, I will do that. We will do that later. But okay, so let's do that for you. You wanted to what exactly? You wanted to pull my code, right? That is what you have to do, right?
No, no, I am able to pull your code into the SAP
Then you
Business.
can, yeah, then you can do it later on in the end of the class. Okay, right now you just focus on creating this schema. First, to create a CAP application using CDS init. Okay, and then try to just type and see the data type using control space. That you are getting all the data type. Okay. I will set up your GitHub repository by the end of the class. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Please do it very fast. Okay. In just it's not a big thing. So once it's complete, then I will proceed further as well. You shouldn't waste time. So Nilesh, Ritik, and Prem, did you manage to find it? Did you manage to find it, Nilesh, Ritik, and Prem?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, if you have already done it, good's good. Because and if you haven't not done it, then let's go to some other aspect. Okay. So right now, if you see here, right, we have a product and we have a supplier entity, which is okay, good, okay. And let's go and try to change something. If you see here, right, we have a price and stock. Okay. Now, if you see here, we have a price, a stock, and category. Okay, so let's see. Suppose I kept the stack category as string. Okay, okay, and I will bring this here. Okay, and now if you see here, there is anyway. If I open the refresh the service, here there is some error issue. What is the? Oh, sorry. Yes. Reduce what? Okay, so if I refresh it, if I go to the product, and you can see all those data. Okay, now what happened if you see here, right? This is stock and price. Okay, let's suppose I have two entity, product one and product two. Okay, let's suppose I have two entity. One is product one and product two. Okay, and both were different entity were used, but these two field are remain same. For example, then you can reuse this field. Okay, instead of creating this two field, you can reuse this field by creating a type. So if there is a concept called type where you can create a type of that field and you can reuse into an entity. Let's see how we can reuse it. Okay. For example, if I create a type, okay, so type, okay, price cost, something I will say type price cost. So this is a type of the price cost, and what it will contain? It will contain two things. One is a price, okay, one is a price, and second thing it will consist as a cost. Now what I'm going to do that instead of using this stock and price, so if I remove this right now, okay, if I remove this right now, what will happen? So you can see here why this is error. Yes, so if I remove this and if I remove the data and if I remove the price and stock, for example, so I will remove it, I will remove it, and I will remove it. Okay. So now if I remove this one, now you can see here you have a price, ID, name, and category that is for the product. Now if I have to use price cost, I shouldn't have, I don't want to again create this again. What I will do, I will use the type. And how to use the type? There is a very simple concept for using the type. Okay? And we just have to say, sorry, price and stock, right? Price and stock. So we will say something called cost, something called cost, something called cost, and then we will give the name of the price cost, name of the type. Now let's go and see the metadata first up. So if I come here, so if you see here, there is nothing changed here. But if you see here, can you see this one? Cost underscore price and cost underscore stock. See?
Yes.
So what is happening? Automatically, the cost will listen to this price cost type and it will add in cost underscore price and cost underscore stock. So you don't need to create again price and stock, rather than you can reference it with the table type. Now let's go and add the CDS. So I will first of all I will format the document, and now if you see here, now product, right? If you see here that we have ID, name, category. So first of all, let me just copy that. Let me just copy, and what I'm going to do, I will delete this. I will delete this one, and what I'm going to do, I will again do CDS add data. CDS add data. Automatically, this subproduct will get created. Okay. Okay. So this will not work. So what I'm going to do, so I have to do it manually, right? So that is a problem. So let's do CDS add data. Okay, because it is, we are referencing it, right? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do here CDS watch, and I am going to just add the cost underscore price and cost underscore stock value. So I will come here. I will give cost underscore price, and I will give cost underscore stock value. And I can give the value, like for cost underscore price, I can give something called something value, cost underscore stock, I will can give some value. Okay. Now, if you notice it, now I'm getting the, now I should get the value. So if you see here, what is the something error happened? Okay, so there are two column missing, right? So we'll try to do something I can do. Okay, sorry. So that is the problem. So now you can see here, this is working. Okay, so now we have loaded the data. Now let's suppose if I remove few data, okay, and now if you see here, right, if I remove few data, for example, let's suppose I remove few data. So let's suppose I remove few data here. So, and if you notice here, right, this is a very tedious thing, right? Here, if you see here, it's a very tedious thing to write all those things manually, correct? In the CSV file, that you have to comma, you have to do. It is very difficult, right? What we have can use a third-party extension to reduce our effort. So there are a lot of third-party extensions. If you click on this extension and okay, you will see a lot of third-party extensions. For example, if I click on CSV, you will get edit CSV. If you just try to install this edit CSV, you will see that how it is helping you to do that. For example, if I come there, let's install. So you can see all those things here. So this, so you can see the demo that how CSV file it has created this extension. So if I come here to CSV, now can you see this button, edit CSV? Just click on that and you can see those magic. See? Now it is good. Now it is easy to edit. So now I will come here and I will add something here to 17, and then I will add some value here, okay, and then I will add some picture, and then I will just have to say apply changes to the file and save, and you can immediately see the data got saved. See? And you can immediately see the data are reflecting into the service. Did you feel this extension are very useful?
Yes.
Any question? You are clear? Or any question you want to?
Yeah, actually, when I have created the schema .cds, I received three errors.
Okay, so you can show me the error now. You can share your screen and we can check your error.
Yeah, sharing.
Okay. So what is your error?
Here, you can see three problems in that file.
Can you run the file? Okay. First of all, your schema.cds should be inside DB folder. Where is your DB folder? Have you deleted it? Yes, we have deleted it.
Oh,
So you have deleted it at DB folder. So either you can create manually or you can create a new CAP application. You can create that is a much more better way for you.
okay.
Okay, so you have deleted it. The schema has to be created inside DB folder, not under a SRB folder. Okay.
Okay.
Don't worry. These things happen. These things should happen, right? Then only you will learn. So don't worry about them. Okay?
Oh,
Any other questions? Clear? Any question you can definitely ask me. Okay, good. No question done. We can go on to the next part here. Okay. Now we have seen the type concept, right? Now, instead of adding the type, there is also sometimes a requirement from the schema that you also have to add few detail. Okay, for example, if I have to add this, let's suppose the customer has provided you this entity product and they are telling you, hey, don't change that product entity, let's keep it. If you want to add anything, create your own data type and then add it out. So in this case, if you see here, right, either you can use type and then you can from the type you can add it out. But the type has a limitation, right? If you see here that your data figure will getting changes. So it's basically becoming cost underscore price and cost underscore stock, correct? Okay. Now, instead of this, we can use a concept called aspect. And what aspect is do? It will add your field automatically. So basically, it will not relate the type. It will add your entity. So instead of adding manually, we will just add the create a separate aspect and we will add that field. So we will see how it we will do. Okay. Okay. For example, let's suppose example that my product is also working on sustainability. Okay. Sustainability, or maybe some aspect, aspect, carbon, carbon emission. Okay. And then what this will do, okay, so this will give emission, okay, this will have emission, emission will have integer, and this will have emission, and then this will have mm, rating. Okay, so rating, will be also will be, let's suppose, integer. Okay, or maybe string, something called a string. Okay, so I have my aspect called carbon emission, and a carbon emission will have field called emission and rating. And what I'm going to do, I am going to directly add this aspect into my product category. So if I add it, right, what will happen, right? If I add those carbon emission, automatically you will notice that these two fields will automatically get added to my product entity. See, can you see this thing? Emission and rating.
Yes.
Without changing the field. So if you see here, right here, the problem was that whatever the type I have given, that part was getting added. Cost underscore price, cost underscore stack. But here, with the help of aspect, no change in the field value. Same field value, whatever I've given. Now I can just add the value, right? So I can just come here and I will say emission, emission and stock, right? Emission and what does that mean? Emission and rating. Okay, so now I will give rating, and I will come to the edit CSV part and reload, and you can see here automatically. Can you see here? So we will see 20,000, 30,000, 45,000, and 20,000 rating is less, so it is A plus. 30,000 is B plus, and this one is C plus, something like that. And I will just have to apply the file name changes, and you can see here I am getting all the response. Can you see here?
Yes.
Similarly, if you want to see into your look test.http, you can directly go and you have to just come here, comment, and you have to just send the request and see your whole response. Any question on the aspect part? That what does that aspect give to, and what are the other concept of aspect? Did you clear now with the aspect concepts? So by the way, just tell me, you are really confused or you are really getting a lot of from that this learning. So you are really understanding, by the way, because your silent is I'm getting afraid. You really understanding the concept, what is going on at least?
Yeah,
Nilesh, Ritik, Prem. Mhm.
yeah, but
I know,
looks
I know
a
you
bit
have to
confusing
try,
also.
bit confused. And what is the confusing part? Can you tell me? Can you raise that question?
Yeah, when like we look at this, the way you do that, that looks easier, but when we do, like, we get some many errors, like
Yes, 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 yes. And that is why I told, right, don't change the file, okay, of the cap. So whenever I will push this code, right, I will be pushing this code in domain model today, okay. So what you have to do, you have to just clone this into your repository and do CDS watch and run this test.http. Okay. I will do what I'm going to do that I don't will wait for because we have 1 week, right? I don't want to lose that time. What I'm going to do right now, okay? So before we start next anything, we can start in it, or that's not a problem. So uh, let me just first of all commit. Just let me do one thing. I will come here. All of you, can you just open the business application studio very quickly? Let me just link this. I want all of you to at least run this thing, because then when that is your concern, right? When you run and then at that point of time it didn't run, correct? So getting started. Okay. Steps to reproduce. Okay. So first step, what you have to do? Clone the repo from GitHub inside bars. Okay, that we will do it right now. Okay, then you have to make sure your terminal pointing to your project. Okay, if not go to your project you have created using cd space and your project name. Okay, good. So we are here, and then we will see number 3. Once this is done, everything is done, then you have to do cds watch. Okay. Type cds watch inside terminal. Okay, and run the browser, or go to your file in test.http and do the testing. Okay, so we are here, and I will commit yes, sync changes. Perfect. So all your content are now available. Very good. Now, all of you, first of all, who is going to come first? Can you really tell me? I want all of you to do a quick setup on that. Who is going to come first? Nilesh, Ritik, Prem, anyone? I wanted all of you to do a quick setup right now. Nilesh, can we do? Ritik, do you want to do a quick setup of that bath, or Prem? Can anybody come and let's do the setup?
GitHub.
Yeah. In your business application
Sir,
studio, we will.
I already have GitHub.
You already have created. So can you show me? No, not GitHub. I wanted that to bring my project, which I have created inside my GitHub, to your repository in Path.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Anyway, so if you're not done, then I will only tell you once again. Please see the recording. Okay. One more thing, I will write it here. Okay. Clone the repository in the past, either by UI. Okay. So you know the UI, right? How to do that. Okay. Either by UI or type git clone and clone URL. Git clone, and I will give the URL also. Okay. So let's go here. I will clone this clone URL. Git clone. Git clone. It's not. Okay. To check out to branch. Uh, what is the name? Domain model, right? Domain model. So domain dash model either by UI or type in terminal, or type git checkout domain model in terminal. 3, 4, 5. Yes. Thing changes. Okay, so I will show you how I'm going to do it in front of you. Okay, and you have to just see the recording. Okay, so I will just refresh. I will just go. Oh, sorry, not domain. Okay, not no, domain what is correct. So I will come to the readme. Okay, so yeah. So now what you have to do, please watch it very carefully. Okay, so now let's go. Let's suppose I'm going to some another project. Okay, so I will come here. I will run. I will terminal. I will come to the no, not this one. File, open folder. Okay, let me create one more folder here. cd space mkdir test run. Okay, so I will come here. I will come here and I will say test run. Okay, see how I'm going to do all those things. Okay, let's see. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come to the terminal. I will open the terminal. Let me just open. This network is slow. You're all listening my voice, right? If I'm correct.
Yes, sir.
What let's wait for that. Okay, so I will come to the terminal. Okay, and now you are seeing that you are in the terminal. And what I'm going to do here, right? Very simply. Okay. So first of all, either from the UI, you just have to. I'm telling you a very simple way. Okay. So it's your wish how you want to do. Okay. So if you go to the simple way, right? So you just have to clone from Git and this give this clone URL. Okay. So just give this clone URL. So if you give this clone URL, if you give this clone URL where, okay, in this clone from Git, give this clone URL. Okay, and then give enter. Okay, and say open. Automatically, you will open it into a new window. See, see, can you see here? The data got imported.
Yes.
Okay, and now you can directly check on now what is the main step? Second step, check out to the branch domain model. So right now you are in main branch. If you want to check out to the domain model, what you have to do? Just click this and check to where domain model. Just switch to domain model. As soon as you switch to domain model, you will see all those files, all those testing which I have did. See, all those entity we have did. See, and now you just have to run cds watch. Okay, automatically done cds watch, and you just have to do test. So you as this port are already used, so I will put one more enter. Okay, and localhost 36. Okay, so wait, let me just first of all cds watch. Some other port. Let's suppose if this is a port, then if by chance if you have already running, then you can directly go and replace this port number. Okay, port number, and then do the send request. You will see the response. What happened? Oh. So enter. So you will just come here 45499. So you just have to come here 45499 and then you do the send request. See how easy it is to clone the repository from GitHub to your BAS. This is one way. Okay, this is one way. Now let's come to another way. Let's suppose if I will come here, if I will again open the folder. So file, open folders. I will come to the project, test shop, camp, test room. Okay, for example, some another new folder if I wanted to create. So I will come inside. So first of all, I have to see if I am inside the project folder or whatever folder is there. Okay. Now you have to come here and you have to copy this whole code. Git clone something like this. Okay. Now go ahead. If this is the second way, if you don't want to do by the UI, my suggestion is to do by the UI. If you don't, just type this command and you will automatically see your code here. Can you see here? Now, if you want to
Yes.
go to that, so now you have to go to that folder. Okay, how to go to that folder? You are in test root. You have to come to capchamp. So how you will do? CD space and name of that file capchamp. So just put capchamp. Can you see? And now I am inside the capchamp. Correct? And now you can see it. You are in main. So you have to do here and come to the domain model. See, you are now in the domain model. Similarly, you will do CDS watch. Okay, enter, and then you can see here you are inside 34533, right? 34533. So you come here and you will say 34533 and then send request. See how easy it is. Did you feel this stuff?
No.
Tell me, did you feel this stuff?
No, sure.
So please try to clone the repository and do it by yourself. It is very easy tool to do it. Okay, I'm telling you. It is one of the most easiest BAS business application studio has made the life of a developer much more easier nowadays. So it's from the UI itself, you can do lot of annotations, lot of modifications, and then you can make sure that you are totally ahead of your journey. And if you, so my suggestion is that please go and watch the recording. And once you watch the recordings, you will definitely feel confident of going further. Okay. Any question, Prem?
No.
And did you feel that it is easy now to bring the
Yeah.
data from GitHub? Perfect. So did you want to do it right now? Can you do it, all of you? It will not take more than 10 minutes. All of you, Nilesh, Ritik, and Prem, can you do it very quickly if you have Business Application Studio open? Or you want to do it later?
Sir, I will do later.
Okay, please do that. It's very Prem, do you want to do it because you have BAS open? Do you want to do it, Prem?
Yeah. Can you paste that link in chat box?
Yep. I will paste that link. It is right here inside my. I've already pasted, but I will paste one more time. Nilesh, can you do that also, please? Nilesh, are you here?
Yes.
Yeah, Nilesh, can you just also try to please do the same stuff? I want all of you at least to do the quick setup so that in the before the next weekend you can guys can at least do something, right? Otherwise you will get called, right? So whenever you get stuck right in the cap or something, you can anytime clone the repository and you can try to do all those tasks. Okay, you can try quickly clone the repository and make sure that you are running the server, and then you can do some changes here and there, and then try to troubleshoot that. Okay, that you can do it very easily, which will at least help you to at least will not stop you at least. Okay, that is the whole point here. So I want at least you to go get going at least for the next 1 week. You shouldn't feel that you should get stop or hang out.
I'm getting
Can you
some
please
error
once
here.
done? Yes, yes, yes. Please share your screen and show me up. Okay.
When I'm doing clone,
Hmm. Hmm. Wait. Looks like you are not inside the folder. What is that? No. You have copied the wrong link. Okay. Can you just click on that link which I just pasted into the chat? Yes, open that. Inside that README, I've given you one link. Hit clone after that. The link is given, right? Yes, copy that link. Yes, you have to give that one only. Yes, enter, open. Perfect. Wait. Yes, it's done. Capture is done. Now you do one thing. There, if you see here, the GitHub repository. Wait. Just wait for some more time. Let's let it load. Let it load. It's loading. And now, if you see here, can you just open that this one, CapChamp one, product shop, CapChamp one, second one. No. On the main screen, second one, CapChamp dash one. No. If you see here, right, on the main screen, second one.
this
So if you see the not left pan, center pan, come to the center pan where you are saying get started. Yes, come down. Yes, come down. No, not here. Please don't click. Not. If you see product shop, right, under project, there are two project, right? Second one,
yeah,
yes. So if you see the second one, there is CamCham dash one. So now your project which you have cloned is CamCham dash one. So just open that. So you will directly go to that particular project, okay? This open. Now if you see here, now, if you see here, by the way, you can directly use, that folder concept, which is much more better. Okay, I don't know why this box is coming for you, but anyway, now can you see the main link here, the GitHub in the down left hand side down, main left hand side down, no, left hand side down, fully down, bottom main. Can you open the no bottom? Yes, this is a GitHub branch. Can you open the branch domain model? Can you see here domain model branch? Yes. Open domain model. Yes. Now your code has been updated. Now you do GitHub CDS watch. Open the terminal. Open the terminal. New terminal. Click CDS watch. Click CDS space watch. Make it smaller. Yes. Enter. Yes. Very good. And now can you just click on that send request? First of all, click that request in HTTPS in test.http file. Test.send request. Yes. Click on that. Yes. Can you see the response here? Can you see the response?
yeah.
Yes. Now wait. Can you click on that look in the terminal? You are seeing localhost 4004. Can you click the link your cursor here in your terminal? Yes, in your terminal. Can you see the localhost 4004? Can you open the terminal? Yes. Control. It will give you the link. Yes. Click on it. Follow link. Yes. Very good. Now click on that entity which you might get very soon now and UI as well. Both. Click on product. Very good. Can you do pay to print? PTP, click on that PTP. No. Click on that product. Yes. Are you seeing all the data now in the server? Can you go back and click on that product shop that web app slash web app web application? Can you open the slash web application? Yes. Yes. Can you click on go? Can you click on go? Go button. Yes, on the top. See, you are seeing that UI as well. Okay, so you can easily go and now you can do whatever the play you want to do or whatever the, because if you don't want to, if you are getting issue in the doing it, then you can use my repository, okay, and work on that in the meantime, okay, that you can do. Clear? Okay, so Nilesh, what about you? Did you did you able to clone the repository, Nilesh?
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. So no question?
No. It's depend on
Perfect.
practice. Once we will do practice, then
Yes. But have you able to clone the repository which I have
yes,
sent it to you?
yes.
Very good, very good, very good, very good. Now, if I share my screen and if I come to this code, you can see here, right? You will get the test content, and you can see here you will get the product. And if you can see here, your service are working, which is fine, perfectly fine. Now, if you want to create a new product, okay, let's suppose if I want to, now this CAP application already provided you a own data service, which is making sure that you are well ahead, and also it is also making sure that you can do all those CRUD operation. CRUD operation means create, read, update, and delete. For example, if you want to get the value, read the value, you just do create operation. Now let's suppose I have to create a new product record. Okay, not in the CSV file. I'm saying dynamically. So how you can do? Click post operation, and then you just click the entity. Okay, content type is of course application slash JSON. Just pass here application slash JSON. Okay, and then pass the body which you want to pass. Content application slash application JSON, and then pass the, let's suppose I wanted to create this record, one more record. Okay, so I will copy this payload. Okay, and what I am going to do, let's suppose I will change something, some value, A positive, B positive, B positive. Okay, and now ID is 1, 2, and then the next ID is 3, then my last ID is 4, right? Okay, and I will say Maruti. Okay, Maruti category 2, 3, something that. And if I do the post request, can you see my data got created? And if I refresh my server, can you see the data now? Fourth data.
Yes.
Similarly, if I want to create a new record, what I will do? Similar way, I will just have to put 5. I just have to put 5. I will give any name, Maruti. I will give a Honda, and I will just go and create record. See, new record got okay. Entity already exists. So sorry, ID I have to change to 5. Okay, and I will come to send request. See, new ID got created. And if I come here, I can see here my new ID got created. Created?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right? But if you see here, let's suppose I have to create a new record now, Honda. This one, let's suppose I will say Volkswagen. Now, let's suppose if I want to create this record now, I'm getting the error. Entity already exists. What does that mean?
ID is should be unique.
Correct. What is the ID I should have?
7.
7 or 6?
7 or 6.
The last one was 5, right? So the next one should be 6, correct?
Yes, yes.
Correct. And now I should be able to create a new record. Okay, which is Volkswagen. Now, if you see here the problem that every time, first of all, I have to remember the last value of the ID. Otherwise, I will create an inconsistency. I can create a ID which is very far away or something like that. And if I give the duplicate ID, I will get into error because I have to every time I have to know the ID, right? Correct?
Yes, yes.
Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Now, if you see here, right, how we can come out of this problem. And also, if you see from the security point of view is also not good. Why it is not good? Because you are doing that every people in the company, let's suppose Nilesh know that my Volkswagen ID is 6. I, as a very good company, will definitely create my next next product ID with 7, correct? So you know that, right? What can be my future ID as well? Now this is also not secure and it is creating a problem as well. So to avoid this, right, what we can do here, right, that there is a very secure concept comes here which is called GUID. Have you ever heard GUID? What we can do instead of key integer, we can make this as UUID. And once UUID is the UUID is basically a 16-digit character. So how UUID looks like? So if I will say, right, GUID generator if I say here, right? So you will see here that basically it's a 16-digit unique tool hash key generated from the system. It's a random 16-digit number. See, can you see here this ID? Okay, so now if I what I will do, I will give this ID and I will data product and I will complete it seriously and I will so one data fill up. I will come here, I will generate again. I will generate one more new. I will copy that. Okay. I will go and copy that. Okay. And now if you come here and I will just go and apply the changes to the file and you can see here my file now GUID has been updated. So now we are in a very and now if I do like this, wait just a moment. So if I do like this again, CDS watch. Okay, so let's hit like this. Let me try to refresh. Can you see the ID now? It is updated now, correct?
Yes.
And now what I'm going to show you the magic, right? That for my next creation of the record, I'm not going to pass the ID. Okay, I don't want to care about ID. Let ID get generated by the cap. Now you will see the cap automatically will generate ID. I will do and quick send request. Can you see automatically ID will get generated? New unique ID got generated by you by the cap. And if you see here, right? If I refresh here, just see. See for Volkswagen. Can you see here? New unique ID got generated. Now let's see one more. I will create one more. Instead of ID, I will create Maruti. I will just have to pass the name. I don't have to care about my ID. I will create send request. See, one unique ID got automatically generated. I don't have to worry about anything. So I will refresh and I will give it a print, and you can see here Maruti. Did you feel it is very good feature now? Did you feel that we don't have to remember the key values and all these things, the nonsense which we are doing previously? And this is more secure and more reliable and more unpredictable IDs. And you don't need to remember that. And that is the whole, you can say, the functionality and the magic of the CAP is that CAP provides the flexibility that, let's suppose CAP knows that this ID is cannot you can generate every time or remember every time. So CAP is doing that task for you. You just focus on your business logic, your product name and category and cost price, and CAP is taking care of all the above aspects. Okay, you are clear?
Yes, again.
Now, what I'm going to do right now, that I am going to install the node package. So you know, right, I have already installed the node package, and that is why it is coming node underscore module. So if you see here, if you don't have installed, you can also install. Just you have to click npm and you say install. So all the node package which is inside your package.json, right, will get updated. So basically all the SAP/PDS library will get updated. So for me, it is there, and you can see here it is there, SAP. And if you see here very carefully, SAP and CDS, there is one common library here, common library. And if you see the common library, there are a lot of things which CAP provides a flexibility. So you know the aspect, right? In the aspect, what is there? That you have seen in the aspect, right? That you just added few details and then you just add into your entity, and automatically this thing will get updated. Correct? Now, what is going to happen that this common.cds also had many aspect and type. Can you see here type here, entity countries. Let's suppose you need currency entity, you can import it from here. Code list, text, ID, see ID also. Okay. Now and manage, let's suppose manage and all the things. So now what I'm going to show you here, a very interesting feature here. That let's suppose you have seen here, right, in your SRV folder. So if suppose if I will come to your if I will come to your SRV folder, how you imported this one file to another, you know, right, how you imported it. Similarly way, if I want to import, if I want to import CUID, for example, let's suppose I don't want key ID and UUID like this. Whenever I create one entity, I don't want to create this one. Automatically, this should get created. So I will create one aspect. So what I can do, either I can do like either create an aspect, and I can create something called aspect called ID, and what I'm going to do that I can bring like this, like for example, key ID, key. I can do like this, key ID, UUID, and then instead of this, I can remove this one and I can bring this like this. Can I do like this, right? Correct? And if I can bring here, if I refresh, I can see the data. Correct? You got the concept, right? I can do like this, right? By the aspect, like what I did for the other entity, correct? Like carbon emission and all these things. Now CAP already provides common.cds library, and if you see here, the CUID is already provided here. So why can't I import ready-made thing which CAP provides into my file? So how to import common.cds into our schema? Similarly, way what we did for here as well. So what we did, let's suppose I want to import CUID. So what I'm going to do here, I will say using what? CUID, right? So I will say CUID from from from. I will write from where? From where? At the rate SAP. So first is what? At the rate. Then second is CDS slash common dot CDS. Automatically it is suggesting. So just copy that, and then you don't need this aspect ID, because you can anyway you can copy that from CUID, and now you just have to call the CUID, and you can see automatically. Oh, sorry. I will come here, and now just see that. Can you see that ID now? Similarly, way, let's suppose there is another field. If you see here in a common.cds, like created by, modified, like who has created the entity, who has modified the entity. Now, if I have to do it manually, I can directly go and create an aspect, right? Manually one aspect like created by, modified, then I can add. Why can't I import it from common.cds? So let's go and import it. So I will copy that managed, and in the schema I will come here, and instead of UID also I will add managed. And what I'm going to do, I will just add managed in my entity, and now just see that, see the magic automatically. Can you see here this part? Automatically this thing got added. I know this is very confusing. Is it confusing, by the way, on what is happening? Nilesh, Prem, Ritik, what is going on? Or did you understand it?
I think you are
Nilesh?
pulling the fields from the common dot
Yes,
CDS.
yes, yes. Because common.cds are the ready-made library which SAP provides. So why I will create it? Let's suppose these are a common thing, right? Why this name as common came? Because these are few of the very common thing which every scenario needs, like who has created by, modified by, correct? Okay, valid from value to. Let's suppose I need valid from value to. So why I will create a new one entity field, right? I can
Hmm.
directly import it from there, right? That is the whole motto is there. Question. Let's suppose you want temporal. Let's suppose you want valid from valid to as well. Simply you come here, you already had done here, just copy temporal and put temporal here as well. Okay. Okay. And if you do like this, refresh. Maybe somewhere mistake, some mistake. No. It should be fine. What happened? Temporal is shouldn't give the error, but anyway, what happened? Okay, some SQLite constant happened. Okay. Hmm. Maybe some issues with the deployment happen, but anyway, let's ignore this one right now. Because managed and temporal both cannot be used because you're already modified at modified by, right? That might be the problem. Product, product. Perfect. Okay. So any question? So similarly, where you can add multiple aspects, multiple tags.